Okay. Paradise Cove? Okay, I'll give you guys a warning right now. You will see something that looks like gelatin squares. White gelatin squares. It is made out of coconut milk. The difference between coconut milk and coconut juice is the juice is the liquid that comes out of it when you first crack the coconut open. Coconut milk is when you grate the coconut meat and you squeeze it out. That is the coconut milk. The white gelatin squares are made out of coconut milk. We ask that you eat no more than 5 or 6. Because if you eat more than 6, you gotta remember 3 things.
Where's the bathroom?
Stay home, stay close, because you will be hanging loose. During the ancient Hawaiian days, the coconut milk was the Hawaiian version of X-Lax. Keeps you regular. But if you inadvertently eat a lot of those gelatin squares, drink a glass of guava juice. Guava juice. That will equalize the acid in your stomach and it will prevent that hang loose feeling. That is a dessert. The white gelatin squares, it is called haupia. Haupia squares. A lot of people can't resist it because it does taste like candy when you eat it. And anybody of legal age to drink on this bus?
One.
One?
One.
Okay, for the one person that's legal to drink, when your loader loads you up on the bus, ask them for your drink ticket. I think you get at least 2 drink tickets per person. At the luau.
You got our ticket?
I wish. I'll give them all to you right now. Okay, coming up to the left side is the Alawai Boat Harbor. This is where the Alawai Canal empties out into the Pacific Ocean coming up to our left side. Okay, guys, take a look to our left side. Everybody see this marina right here?
Yeah.
Does it look familiar in any way?
Gilligan.
That is where the SS Minnow left from for the 3-hour tour. Okay, if you take a look to our right side, here in Hawaii we like to keep things simple. Even our city bus system, it is simply called the bus.
Yeah, the bus. I'm waiting for the bus.
Even in Waikiki, you'll see a lot of taxi cabs. The cab.
And they're expensive.
Yes, they are. I'd rather catch the bus. Especially with gas prices nowadays, I'd rather catch the bus.
The bus.
But here in Hawaii, it took a long time for the gas prices to go down, but they're going down little by little.
Now after the hurricane.
Now the hurricane.
Oh, God help me, I'm going to leave my car at home now. My car is a V8, so it's going to kill me now.
Take the bus.
Take the bus. Or the footmobile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right here to the right side. This is the largest shopping center in the state of Hawaii. This is the Ala Moana Center.
Wow.
4 levels. Coming up on 300 stores. Open daily, 10 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sundays. But if the mall is not your deal, on the opposite side of this mall is the 3rd largest Walmart in the country. All 350,000 square feet of it.
Wow. That is big. Wow.
Built on 6 city blocks.
Wow.
2 levels.
Wow.
Walmart downstairs, Sam's Club upstairs. That 350,000 square feet is not also counting its multi-level parking structure. right here to the left side of the bus. This is the Ala Moana Beach Park. This is where we locals like to come and kick back on our days off. As I said, this whole area of Waikiki used to be a swamp, like this area right here. That is why there's also this canal right here. When this area floods, there's that drainage canal right there, which empties out into the Pacific Ocean. Right over here, right on the left side of that stone wall.
What is the hourly pay rate right here?
The minimum wage?
Yeah.
$7.25.
Okay.
$7.25. If you're working for $7.25 here in the state of Hawaii, you will have a hard time making ends meet. Even right now, for me driving this bus, barely, but I'm there.
At least you have a job.
Oh yes, yes. Even though Aloha Airlines shut down here in Hawaii, we still have a low unemployment rate here. Aloha Airlines was one of the main air carriers here in the state to transport people and goods to between the other islands and some parts of the west coast. Okay, good. It's coming up to the left side of the bus. This is Kiwalo Basin. Kiwalo, which translates into English, means clinking anchor. This was built back in the late 1940s, a bit after World War II, at the attack of Pearl Harbor. This was primarily a fishing village. If you look to the far end of that harbor, you will still see fishing boats, and still a lot of fishing is done through this basin right here. Currently, this basin is primarily used for its boat charters, like your sunset dinner cruises, your fishing charters, and all that, and of course your parasailing.
Who owns the property? Government?
The owner of this particular property, particularly all the harbors, is run by the state of Hawaii. Majority of all the waterfront property going out this way, going around, is run by the state. Okay, if you take a look to the left side, you see this big tree that looks like an umbrella right here?
Yeah.
That is a monkey pot tree, also known as the mimosa tree.
Oh.
You see a lot of it at Pearl Harbor. There are a lot of it around Pearl Harbor, and the entire island is because back during World War II, they used to use it for camouflage. They used to hide our equipment under it to prevent the enemy from seeing it if they were to fly overhead. The mimosa tree is not indigenous to Hawaii, it is indigenous to Africa. Okay, you cousins are going to the part of America tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay, the part of America will be pulling in right in this area, pier number 2. Right behind the Department of Homeland Security building. So you're safe. And then across the channel this way and across the channel this way is the 2 Coast Guard stations.
So if the ship sinks, we got a good chance of being rescued.
100% chance of survival.
Looks like a military plane there, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's a Navy plane. We saw those in the airport.
Okay, if you take a look to the right side, you see those funny looking buildings right there? To that glass building to the right side. Those are condominiums built back in the mid-1990s. At that time, the cheapest unit was about almost $400,000. Today, probably $1 million. Literally, $1 million view.
How old is Pearl Harbor one?
The owner of Pearl Harbor is,
40s, I wonder.
it is owned by the federal government. Okay, the federal government first went into Pearl Harbor in 1900. At that time, it wasn't a suitable harbor because there was a coral bar blocking the entrance of the harbor. So, the military came in, dredged it, and made it into a harbor like how it is now.
Was
The reason why it got the name Pearl Harbor because back in the early days, because of its abundance of producing oysters in Pearl Harbor. Yes.
What are those trees on the left?
The one with the red flowers?
No, the ones on the left.
Oh,
The other left.
Are they rain trees?
the other left. Rainbow shower. Rainbow shower tree. Oh, the other left.
Yeah, the other one.
I'm glad you're driving.
Oh yeah. You see this thing with the green light right there?
Yeah. Okay.
It's watching how I'm driving right now. Once it turns red, it's like, oh no. As long as it's green, it's okay.
Then you'll be looking for one of those 7.25 an hour jobs.
Yeah. Then I'll be walking to work. I won't be even able to be affording the bus.
What's the red trees? Were they the red Poncianas?
Gold Ponciana.
The vine coming down from the
Oh my gosh, look at that stainless steel mass of that ship.
Alright, the light is still green.
That means you can
Hey,
go.
what kind of tree is that? The one where the branches grow down and off back into the ground? Or what?
Banyan tree.
What is it?
Banyan tree.
Banyan tree, okay.
Yeah.
I never
You'll see some in Waikiki, like in Kapiolani Park, where the roots
Yeah,
are not touching the ground.
right, by the zoo.
Yeah. They cut it so they don't, because if it goes back into the ground, it'll grow into one humongous trunk.
Okay.
That is why they cut those roots so it will go back into the ground and make one humongous tree. Okay, because it's coming up to the right side of the bus. This is Chinatown right here. Chinatown. This is where we locals come to shop when we have a party or a get together. This is where we buy our produce in this area right here of Chinatown because let's say a bag of tomatoes, about 6 or 7 big tomatoes, $1.50. And they're fresh.
$1.99.
That is where you can also find the freshest fish anywhere. Because either they were caught early this morning or late last night. Okay, coming up to our right side is Kmart. But the building where Kmart is located is not brand new. This was the old building of the Dole Cannery right here. This area is Ivy Lake. This is where Dole Cannery had their operations in this area right here. You see that yellow parking structure right there?
Yeah.
That is where once stood the big old pineapple water tower.
Oh,
And they built that parking structure when they tore it down. And for, once again, for all you shoppers in the house, to the left side, Hilo Hattie. If you do want to check out Hilo Hattie, they do offer free transportation to and from Waikiki. I seen you coming.
What do they make in City Mill?
City Mill is a hardware store. But back before it was a hardware store, it was a rice milling plant. To this day, the old milling wheel that they used to mill the rice, it is in the parking lot and it has a flag on it. But as Honolulu got bigger and the demand for hardware and lumber got more, City Mill opened up. And they converted from a rice milling plant to a hardware store. Apparently City Mill is still doing good because it's right next to Home Depot. And a load just popped up, and this construction that you just passed on the right side, that's going to be another load. Okay, cousins, coming up to the right side. As soon as we pass this warehouse or building right here, two of my three favorite stores. Best Buy, Home Depot, and Costco. You know why we love Costco? That's one of the few places that sells rice, but the 100-pound bag. Yes.
They grow any rice here?
No, we don't. Unfortunately, no.
Where does it come from?
Usually from Asia and from what I read in the bag, California. Okay. One thing about Costco, the last hurricane that we had back in the 1990s, Hurricane Iniki, which almost wiped out the island of Kauai, the three things that ran out the quickest in Costco was rice, toilet paper, and Spam.
Tell me about Spam.
You guys are familiar with the stuff in the blue can?
Oh, yeah.
Spam is Hawaii. Huh?
Yeah. That is the Hawaiian version of steak. Because it's not too expensive. Okay? You walk into a McDonald's here in Hawaii for breakfast. Of course, right next to the menu they'll have the hot cakes, the biscuits. But only in Hawaii you'll find something called a local breakfast platter. Well, they'll have rice, scrambled eggs, and Spam. One more thing, you walk into any 7-Eleven here in the state of Hawaii, you will see something that looks like a sushi. You got the rice wrapped with the seaweed, with a nice crispy piece of fried Spam right on top. It is called a Spam musubi. It is also called the Hawaiian version of Snickers. It keeps you held till mealtime. Okay, right here to the left side of our bus, this is Young Brothers. This is the company that ships goods to the neighbor islands by barge. Because Honolulu is the only island out of the entire Hawaiian chain that has a natural harbor like we do here in Honolulu. That is why it is a bit more expensive to buy goods, and especially fuel, on the neighbor islands. Because everything got to be shipped in by barge. Right here, Young Brothers. It will be at Pearl in about another 10 minutes.
Why is that?
No, regular minutes. Regular minutes.
Do you have anything that bothers the island, like monkeys or snakes or anything?
Okay. Currently, there are no animals that currently bothering the state because a lot of the animals, let's say snakes, are illegal here in the state of Hawaii. Are illegal. And it is also illegal for anyone to bring any fresh fruits, seeds, or animals of any sort from Hawaii to anywhere else in the country. So when you folks leave the state of Hawaii, they will check your cousins at the airport, see if you have any fresh fruits on you. They'll give you the option of either throwing it away or eating it. Yeah. But if you want to buy pineapple to bring back home, you can buy it at the airport. They've already been pre-inspected. They're okay to be used as a carry-on, those boxes. You'll be good to go.
What about my empty coconut?
Empty coconut?
Yeah.
I mean, just a shell?
Yeah, they serve me a drink into it. Can I take that back?
That I am not sure.
Isn't that just a plastic thing?
If it's a fresh coconut, that I'm not sure. You'll have to check with the agricultural officer at the airport. But if pineapples in the dull boxes,
Oh, look at the
no
traffic
problem.
on the other side.
By the time we're done later on this morning, this traffic should be empty, and I will not be coming to this way. You see that viaduct right there? That's the freeway I'll be taking back into Waikiki. The reason why the two buses took this way is because the traffic that you see to our left side, that's how the traffic is going this way too.
Why is there so much traffic?
Too many cars, not enough room.
Where's everybody coming from? Yeah, shoot.
Okay.
They're going to their 7:25
Okay, the
an hour
traffic that
job.
you see to the left side of us is all traffic coming from the central and west sides of Oahu. The old sugarcane plantation lands, old agricultural lands. A couple of years ago, they were converted into residential zoning. So there's been massive building going on the west side of the island. So that is what, once those houses were built, a lot of people moved out of town to go to the west side of the island and the central part of the island. There is this one town where you folks will be heading to this afternoon when you go to the luau. That town is called Kapolei. It is touted as the second city of Honolulu. Reason being, a lot of the government offices, federal, state, city, and county are moving over to the west side of the island because the government wants to help alleviate the traffic going into town on a daily basis. Right now, there is one department in the state that converted to a 4-day work week. Fridays, they're off. The town is called Kapolei on the west side of the island. You will see it when you start heading out to the luau. The houses that you see to the right side with the solar panels on it, these are all military houses right here. Military. The panels that you see on the roof are all solar water heating panels. Because here in Hawaii, as you know, we have an abundance of sunlight. So, one thing too, the state Department of Taxation gives whoever installs solar water heating panels on their roofs of their homes or businesses a 35% tax credit on their annual state return. But one of the drawbacks about the solar water heating panel is minor. If you run out of solar heated water, it's like taking a shower in ice water. Before they built all these houses right here, majority of the houses in this area were all pre-World War II, in pretty much bad shape. So the government put up about $20 million to build houses across the entire state. The houses that you see to the right side are all steel frame because here in Hawaii, we do have a problem with termites. That is why the government are building houses out of steel frame. Right here, the golf course that you see to the right side is the Navy Marine Golf Course right here. And coming up to the right side, if for any of you active or retired military, is the Navy Exchange. Okay, you see this, take a look to the left. You see that concrete barrier right there? That concrete barrier, they move it every morning, make it into a contraflow lane, heading into town. Oh, that lane, you'll see it coming up on our left, right side of the bus. It stretches pretty much the entire length of the H1 freeway. Okay, everybody see that lane right there? It is named after Bill Clinton. I'm sorry, I hope nobody takes this in offense. I heard this joke, that's why. You know why they call it is named after Bill Clinton? It is called the zipper lane. Yeah. Every morning they open it at 5 and close it. Opens it at 5 and they close it at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. That is when all the rush hour traffic is over. The reason why they put that in is because in the morning, the rush hour is much, much worse than in comparison to the morning, because a lot of, than in the afternoon, I should say. Because a lot of people start around the same time in the morning, and another return home, everything is staggered, traffic is flowing. The commute from Kapolei without traffic into town takes about 25-30 minutes. On a Monday to Friday rush hour, takes anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. Okay, cousins, we'll be at Pearl Harbor in a few minutes, so if you have any bags of any sort, camera bags, handbags, please leave it on the bus because they will not allow it into the visitor center. Okay, but what they do allow is your wallets or anything that can fit in your pockets. You can bring your cameras, you can bring your sunglasses, your wallets, but no bags that can allow any concealment. Binoculars, no problem. Just anything, just don't bring any bags, even the binocular case. You can leave it on the bus. As we make our way out to the visitor center, I will lock this bus. And if anybody tries to break into the bus, I got Big Brother right here.
I thought you said you were going to kill him.
Right here, I got a big block of ice right here. Maybe knock him senseless, but not kill him.
Wish they were dead.